In November 2019, 200 of the best and brightest minds in AI from across Latin America gathered in Montevideo, Uruguay for the first ever edition of Khipu. They represented PhD students, researchers, and engineers working across the region to push forward the field of AI and use AI to benefit Latin America. Top international scientists traveled from around the world to join them at the Universidad de la República for 5 days of advanced machine learning lectures on topics such as deep learning and reinforcement learning, poster sessions to present research, and many more opportunities to meet each other and build lasting collaborations.
Khipu es la comunicación que hubo anteriormente en el Imperio Incaico, ¿no? De información a otra por los problemas geográficos que había, era importante hacer la comunicación y era a través de los hilos, ¿no? Ahora Khipu, a través de este evento, significa lo mismo. Y además de esto, une distintas zonas geográficas, como es el caso de Latinoamérica, ¿no? Hay uruguayos, hay peruanos, hay argentinos. Entonces esta comunicación es muy importante para que juntos podamos desarrollar grandes cosas.
I think it's a really good cause. I think AI needs to work on broadening its participation from different parts of the world.
So I think it's really great to see the Khipu conference come together this year with people from all over Latin America coming together to share ideas, share research interests, meet each other from many different places, and to bring people from all over the world to come and talk about their research. I think that's just a really important step for our research community.
We are used to go to other countries to learn about these things, and bringing it here, it's amazing. And I also think that here we have people doing great things in this area, and I think it's good to get people to know them, to know the background.
I'm really blown away. I'm amazed that you guys had such a huge turnout in only the first year of the event, and it seems to be that people are coming from all over Latin America.
I was really excited when I heard about the event because I thought it's really important to have a machine learning event that focuses in Latin America. I was interested to know what the other countries around here are doing, how the other researchers do the research here, because we know that it's difficult, we know that we have a lot of problems that are different from Europe and North America, and my main motivation was to learn how they are doing, how far they have gone, and what was the opportunities here too.
Well, I think the talent is there, even if we have lower resources in terms of financing. It still always is necessary to have enough funding to be able to dedicate your life to it. So to be able to have PhD students that spend their time doing research and not looking for jobs somewhere else, we need the fellowships and the resources to keep them around to do the research. If that happens, then the rest naturally flows because the talent is there.
Estoy haciendo el doctorado, mitad del tiempo doctorado y mitad del tiempo en una pasantía, porque eso me ayuda a crecer profesionalmente, pero al mismo tiempo es una entrada extra de dinero, porque muchas veces la beca de doctorado, la beca de maestría no es suficiente, entonces tengo que distribuir mi tiempo entre lo que hago en la universidad y lo que hago en la empresa. Tengo la suerte de poder estar trabajando en la misma línea de investigación, pero conozco personas que no. Entonces no pueden avanzar tanto en lo que viene siendo la universidad, en el doctorado, para publicar en revistas de alto impacto, porque tienen que trabajar en la empresa y la empresa exige resultados.
We don't have the financial support yet, and we don't have big labs and companies in Latin America that can help the students to do the research. Because when you are a student, it's important to have support financially and from professors and big companies that believe in what you are doing.
You know, in my country, there's no AI ecosystem. It is starting, but it's very small right now. So one of my motivation was to learn from great people. There's great speakers, great researchers, top of the world researchers and speakers here.
Ahora mismo estoy estudiando el doctorado en Brasil. Yo creo que es un tema que todo el mundo conoce, el hecho de que la educación en Brasil cada vez tiene menor presupuesto. Personalmente creo que en Brasil, sobre todo en Río, que es donde vivo, también existe el tema de la violencia. Es un tema tangible, es un tema que te afecta, te estresa no solo puedes dedicarte a la investigación, tienes que preocuparte por a qué parte vas a ir, puedes salir a la calle, en qué momento puedes salir, porque existen muchos conflictos internos dentro del país, es como una guerra en la ciudad, nunca había vivido eso y eso te puede afectar psicológicamente para avanzar en la investigación. En Río de Janeiro a veces las escuelas cierran cuando existen este tipo de conflictos, los estudiantes no pueden ir a las universidades, los niños no pueden ir a las escuelas primarias.
There were two things that really touched me today. One was I saw a poster. There was a lady presenting a poster and she was from Cuba. A researcher from Cuba, a poster from Cuba. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's when I realized how important this is.
I think the biggest challenge that researchers face in Cuba is the topic related to internet. We basically don't have access to pages on the internet that are very important for researchers. For example, this is a thing that I used to say my friends that I never had access to the TensorFlow webpage. And I think when we try to accept this page, they say that Cuba is a country that promotes terrorism. And accessing to TensorFlow is really important because deep learning is a hot topic today. It's a topic that can be applied to so many spheres in our life. And I think this boundary is not just boundary to Cuba, it's a boundary to the research that we can do in Cuba, because in Cuba we have very talented people and we face these restrictions and it's just like this is discourage or work a leader.
The other thing that was very touching was when I saw someone presenting a poster and he had no university affiliation. That's because there's no university. He's working with convolutional networks, ResNets and LSTM and so on. But he's doing this at night on his own just because he loves the topic. But he has no way of working with anyone else on this. He got his undergrad. There's no grad level at all in AI.
I started to learn by myself. I got the famous Peter Norvig book of AI, Modern Approach, and I started reading it and trying to code myself. But it was difficult because there was nobody to ask. So if you have issues or your algorithm isn't converging, there's nobody you can ask. So I had to go by myself, and then the online platforms came in. So for example, Coursera, Udacity. Then I started reading papers and what will happen if instead of doing this, I do that? So somebody said to me this week, well, you didn't know that, but you were already doing research.
Khipu in Montevideo has been brilliant. It's sunny and Montevideo is such a beautiful place and the people are lovely. And it's been wonderful, but also very touching. As I walked through the posters this morning, I realized, at first I was really impressed with the technical quality. There's people trying to use neural networks to speed up numerical computation to study black holes. There are people who are studying, also using machine learning techniques to be able to predict how different type of seeds will grow in the local soil. Because most seeds and so on are genetically engineered outside and so on. And so there are people who are solving amazing problems of global significance, but as well as paying attention to their local problems and attending to them, studying rare diseases. So the quality of the work has been quite remarkable.
I think the most important thing we can bring is diversity, because the problems we have here are quite different from the ones they are solving in the other continents. We just see things different and we have different problems.
I strongly believe, like any discipline, diversity is very important. So when I come here and I see the posters today, I see problems which are very different than the rest of the community in AI works. They're not less interesting, they're not less important. Sometimes they are more interesting or more important, but let's say they're equally interesting or equally important. And that diversity will make the entire community better. When somebody is working for a problem that exists in Uruguay, but doesn't exist in the United States using AI, that knowledge that you gain in Uruguay will end up also being applied to what's happening in the United States. So the more diverse we make the community in every single aspect and every single axis of diversity, the better the entire community will become.
So I think it's really important that, to have a robust community of machine learning researchers, and so there are many ways to contribute. I think one is just to advance the state of the art of what we as an international community know how to do in terms of solving machine learning problems, what is the next frontier of problems that we all want to tackle. But also I think sometimes bringing a local perspective on how to apply machine learning to different kinds of problems, I think is a really good thing that people all around the world often bring to the set of problems that we look at. So understanding conservation issues, which are often very important for Latin American countries, I think is a really interesting use of machine learning and AI. Healthcare is obviously a concern of everyone around the world. How can we use machine learning to improve healthcare for people? I think all these things are good to look at from the lens of what are important problems you see in your community, and by being present in Latin American countries, people see problems and ways to use machine learning and AI to tackle them in interesting ways.
I'm loving it. Just in the beginning, we have a woman opening the event. That was very important for me, and I'm already made tons of friends and exchanged contacts, so I'm really enjoying it, and I'm looking forward for the next days.
It's nice that you guys could bring people from different countries in Latin America, because now we have this feeling to give back to our local community, where we see oh, this is happening in Latin America and we can actually do it.
Para mí lo más importante fue la comunidad, conocer lo que se está haciendo en Latinoamérica. Nunca pensé que existieran tantos laboratorios, tantos grupos de investigación trabajando en cosas tan interesantes.
It's a great opportunity to learn from them and to find out what other people is doing, and then my intention is to then go back to my country and spread the word.
Khipu has been an incredible experience that honestly, personally, I thought that I never could have the chance to attend an event like this.
South America is full of extremely bright people, very capable. The quality that I've seen here is definitely an indication of that. And those people have a lot to contribute to the world and to advance science and technology. And I think I cannot imagine a way in which Latin Americans could not provide a lot of insights into how to build better societies, how to get better distribution of income and so on, and just build a fairer AI for everyone.
It is important because Latin Americans, we are underrepresented in this field, and I think that Khipu is just a door open just to change the reality that we face. Khipu, I think thanks to Khipu we can promote artificial intelligence and raise the quality of researchers that we do here, and I think that Khipu is also a commitment to the country, for my country, for the region. It's a commitment to share everything that I've learned here.
When you do something that you love, you keep pushing further, even if you don't have the resources and you are swimming against the current.
Khipu meant to come and try to expand our knowledge to people and communities that really want to work in this area and don't have the opportunity normally to go to places that most of the activity is happening. And it's very expensive to go to conferences, it's very expensive to go to meetings, so this gives the opportunity of the meetings coming to people that are as qualified as anybody else in the planet, so give us the chance to come and do it here.